take a breath, because if you're hearing my voice tonight, it is not an accident. Capricorn, you are part of the rare few who were guided here, at this exact moment, because something in your destiny is shifting. A sign, a confirmation, a message you've been waiting for, is finally ready to reach you. Your soul answered a call long before you pressed play. And tonight, the universe answers back. Before we begin, whisper in the comments, "I received this rare sign." Let that be your first step into alignment. Now, get comfortable, slow your breathing, and let me take you into the moment your destiny begins to move. When you arrived here tonight, I felt it right away. That quiet shift in the air. That way your energy settles in before you even say a word. Capricorn, you don't show up anywhere without purpose. You never have. And that's why this moment feels a little different. A little heavier in the chest, and somehow lighter at the same time. Sit with that feeling for a second. Let it breathe, because if you're hearing me now, something has already started moving around you. You may not have language for it yet. Most people don't, when destiny begins to rearrange itself. It starts as a nudge you can't quite explain, a thought that returns at the same hour every night, a softness in the heart you didn't expect to feel again. You've carried so much, Capricorn, more than you ever let the world see. You've held it together for everyone. You've been the anchor, the steady mountain, the one who doesn't break. But even mountains shift. Even mountains hear the call of the wind and turn their face toward whatever waits beyond the horizon. And tonight, the universe is placing something in your path. Something rare, something meant only for you. You've been asking for a sign in a way only Capricorn does, quietly, responsibly, almost apologetically, as if your heart's desires were an inconvenience to the world. But they're not. They never were. So, the universe chose tonight, a night when your guard is lower, when the noise around you softens enough for truth to slip through, a night when you might finally allow yourself to receive instead of carry, to listen instead of lead, to let spirit guide your steps instead of planning every move 3 layers deep. There's nothing you need to force, nothing you have to chase. Just breathe. Let the tension fall away from your shoulders. It's safe for you to do that here, because something is coming toward you with intention. It holds the answer to a weight you've kept tucked behind your ribs. It holds direction where you've been unsure. It holds the quiet yes your soul has been waiting to hear. And no, you didn't wander into this moment by mistake. Capricorn never stands at the edge of change by accident. You were led, gently, deliberately, called here in a way your mind might not understand. But your heart certainly does. And as you sit with me now, in this quiet space we're sharing, you might notice the world around you fading just a little, not disappearing, just stepping back, as if it knows this part is meant only for you. So, let me speak to the part of you that has been waiting, the part that keeps going even when the path is dim, the part that still believes, even after everything, because there is a moment, Capricorn, when destiny stops whispering and begins to knock, soft at first, then louder, until you can no longer pretend you didn't hear it. And as we move forward together, you'll start to understand why tonight matters, why the rare sign coming toward you carries more light than you expected, and why your life feels like it's slowly turning towards something you can't name yet. Not yet. But stay here with me. You'll feel it. You'll see it. And soon, you'll know exactly what's beginning to unfold for you. Capricorn, there is something about you tonight, a brightness under the surface, a quiet stirring, almost like a flame learning how to breathe again. You may not notice it at first. Most people never notice the moment their power wakes up. It doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives with clarity, with that subtle shift inside your chest when you suddenly see something you couldn't see before. And I can feel that happening to you now. The way your mind begins to sharpen, the way old confusion loosens its grip, the way certain questions that used to feel heavy start to feel strangely solvable. That isn't coincidence. That's your cleverness rising to the surface. The part of you that knows how to move through chaos, not by fighting it, but by understanding it, by reading the room, by sensing what others miss. You have always had that gift. You just bury it sometimes when life gets loud. But tonight, something in you is waking, something that remembers how capable you really are, how naturally your mind works when you stop doubting its brilliance. I know you've been holding a problem in your hands, turning it over, trying to find the angle that makes sense, trying to understand why it keeps returning to you. But listen, sometimes the answer only appears when you stop gripping so tightly, when you stop trying to solve it the way you always have. Let yourself breathe for a moment. Let the weight fall away just enough for insight to slip in, because your mind is clearing now. And with that clarity comes something beautiful, your ability to see through the noise, to find the quiet thread of truth that's been there all along, waiting for you to notice it. You don't need luck for this part of your journey. You never did. You win by understanding what others overlook, by standing still long enough to hear the pattern beneath the chaos, by trusting that first instinct you always talk yourself out of. And tonight, that instinct is speaking again, softly at first, but it grows stronger with every breath you take, with every moment you allow yourself to settle into who you have always been. If you feel that sensation, that little click inside your thoughts, that sudden awareness, that is your cleverness frequency turning back on, the universe adjusting the lens for you. So let it happen. Let your intelligence guide you in ways your fear never could. Let your mind wander to the places it naturally wants to go. Those possibilities you keep brushing aside because they feel too bold, too unfamiliar, too much like the beginning of something real. Stay with that feeling. It is showing you a doorway, not one you have to push open, but one that begins to open the moment you admit you're ready for something different. Just notice how your thoughts move now, how they stretch, how they lead you somewhere you haven't fully explored yet. And while you settle into that new clarity, there is something else quietly forming around you, something that doesn't ask for effort, something that simply waits for you to recognize it. So, let's go there together. Gently, as if we're walking into a room lit by a single warm lamp, a place where the answers become easier to hear, and the next part of your story begins to take shape in ways you may not have expected. Capricorn, can I tell you something quietly, just between us? I've been feeling this shift around you, not loud, not dramatic, more like a soft pulling at the edge of your awareness, a gentle invitation you keep brushing aside because life has demanded so much from you lately. You've been carrying deadlines, expectations, the weight of other people's choices, and maybe even the echo of a disappointment you didn't have time to process. When you're holding that much, it's easy to miss the small glimmers meant for you, the little sparks of guidance that show up in places you barely look anymore. But those glimmers are still there, and they're gathering tonight, almost like the universe has been waiting for the moment you'd finally have enough space to notice. Take a breath with me, slow. Let the noise fall away, just for now. When you step out of the pressure, even for a few quiet seconds, you create room for possibility. And that's where the magic begins to move. Something has been forming around your path, an opportunity, a reroute, a doorway that didn't exist a month ago, maybe even a week ago. But it's here now, hovering at the edge of your life like a soft knocking you keep meaning to answer. You may have dismissed it before, told yourself it was impractical, too late, too early, too complicated. Capricorn logic is protective like that. You're loyal to the plans you make, even when those plans start to feel a little too tight around the edges. But listen, just because something made sense then doesn't mean it still fits you now. You've grown quietly in ways you haven't acknowledged. You've shed pieces of yourself without announcing it. You've crossed thresholds without even realizing your steps were changing direction. And because of that, the world around you has shifted too. New routes are opening, new people, new timing, new clarity. Let yourself look up for a moment, not with pressure, not with urgency. Just look. Notice what feels different in the air around you. Notice what idea keeps returning. Notice what possibility feels strangely warm when you think about it. That's not random, that's alignment. That's the universe placing something within reach and waiting to see if you're willing to stretch toward it. You don't have to leap, you don't have to commit to anything tonight. Just soften the grip of the old plan long enough to let curiosity breathe. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective becomes the turning point of an entire chapter. Sometimes all it takes is letting yourself wonder again. Letting yourself imagine that maybe, just maybe, things could unfold in a way that supports you instead of drains you. Feel into that for a second. Feel what opens in your chest when you stop assuming the door is locked. There you go. That's it. Stay with that feeling, hold it gently. Because the moment you allow even a little light in, life has a way of responding, and the energy moving toward you now. It's carrying something you weren't ready to see before. But I can sense you're ready now. Ready in a quiet, grounded way that only a Capricorn would understand. So, let's keep walking. There's something beginning to take shape just ahead, and the way it settles around your spirit tells me it's meant for you more than you know. Capricorn, you've been walking through a quiet kind of shedding, haven't you? Not loud, not dramatic. Just these small moments where something inside you loosens, and you realize a part of your life doesn't fit the way it once did. It happens slowly at first, a disappointment you didn't expect, a truth you didn't want to see but couldn't unsee once it arrived. A moment where someone's words hit differently, or where your own heart whispered no when you tried to force a yes, and for a while, you tried to hold the old shape. You kept showing up in the role you outgrew. You kept carrying expectations that were never yours to begin with. You tried to stay steady, even as something deep within you pulsed with the need to change. But the last 30 days, they've been revealing. Almost like the universe has been quietly peeling back layers you didn't know you were ready to release. Old fears, old identities, old versions of you that needed to be thanked and released, not worn like armor. I can feel how heavy some of those moments were. The kind of heaviness you don't talk about. The kind you carry in your posture, in the way you breathe, in the silence that lingers when you turn off the lights at night. But can I tell you something gently? Something, I hope, lands softly on your heart. You didn't break, you outgrew. There's a difference. What felt like losing your footing was really the ground shifting so you could stand somewhere truer, somewhere more aligned with who you're becoming. And you are becoming, Capricorn. Even if you haven't said it out loud. Even if you've been moving through your days quietly, doing what needs to be done, while a quieter part of you whispers, "This isn't me anymore." You're not meant to shrink into the outlines others drew for you. You're not meant to stay loyal to a version of yourself that no longer carries your heartbeat. And tonight, there's this unmistakable sense that something is opening, a subtle invitation toward a life that reflects who you are now, not who you had to be to survive the past. Let yourself feel that for a moment, that gentle pull forward, that breath you didn't know you were holding, that strange mix of fear and excitement that only appears when your soul recognizes a doorway before your mind does. You don't have to rush through it. You don't have to name it. Just notice what's awakening in you, the sturdiness, the clarity, the sense that you are no longer willing to carry what dims your spirit. Because this quiet unraveling is how new timelines begin. And as you sit with me now, with the night soft around you and the world a little quieter than usual, you can almost feel the moment where the old narrative loosens its grip, and a new one begins to write itself through you. Stay right here with that feeling. Let it settle into your chest, because the more you allow it, the more the path ahead begins to reveal what is already on its way to meet you. Capricorn, before I say anything else, let me sit with you for a moment. There's a softness around you tonight, a kind of quiet that feels intentional, almost like the world stepped back just enough for something to reach you. And maybe you felt it too, that strange awareness hovering in the background, the sense that something is trying to get your attention. Not in a dramatic way, but in the way a memory returns unexpectedly. Or the way your heart pauses for half a second when something unseen brushes past it. These signs, they don't always arrive the way we expect. They slip through the cracks of an ordinary night. They show up in symbols, in fragments, in the smallest disturbances that make you look twice. You might see it in your dreams first, dreams that feel too vivid to ignore, a window breaking, a path opening beneath your feet, a shadowed place you've avoided finally revealing a light you didn't know existed. Or maybe an animal crosses your mind for no reason, a ram, a mountain goat, something steady and sure-footed. You might brush it off, but it lingers, and deep down, you know it's speaking to you in a language older than thought. Sometimes a loved one whose past comes through when the veil thins. I'd whisper, a face, a warmth in the chest that feels like recognition, like guidance, like someone reaching across time just to say, "I'm here, keep going." And in the waking world, the signs are even quieter. A sound that shouldn't have startled you, but did. Something falling, something cracking, something shifting, just enough to disrupt your rhythm. Moments like that are invitations, little taps on the shoulder from the universe saying, pay attention, you're being guided. And then there's that feeling in your body, that quick thud under your ribs, that quiet flutter in your chest that comes out of nowhere. Most people call it intuition, but for you, it's recognition. Your soul knows when something is approaching. You've always been that sensitive underneath the armor, so if tonight feels different, even in the smallest way, that's not your imagination. That's alignment brushing against your reality. That's destiny testing the door to see if you're awake. Let yourself notice what stands out. Not with fear, not with pressure, just with curiosity. Curiosity is the bridge spirit uses to reach you when your mind is too tired to try. You don't have to decode anything right now. You don't have to chase meaning. Just allow the signs to arrive the way the tide touches the shore. Slow, gentle, inevitable. And as they begin to gather around you, as the night reveals what it has been preparing, you might feel something subtle lifting inside your chest, like the beginning of clarity or the first breath after a long silence. Hold that feeling. Let it sit with you. Because the moment you acknowledge it, the moment you allow yourself to sense what's moving toward you, the entire path ahead begins to rearrange itself in ways you're finally ready to see. Capricorn, come a little closer for this part. There's something in your energy tonight, something tender, something you've been holding so tightly that even your breath knows its weight. You carry your emotions like stone, quiet, dense, tucked away in places no one else sees. People call you strong, responsible, reliable, but they never notice how much you absorb just to keep the world steady. And I can feel it now, right behind your ribs. The ache of disappointment that settled there when you weren't looking. The sting of a moment when someone you trusted didn't show up the way you hoped. The exhaustion of giving so much and realizing you were the only one holding all the threads together. You've been carrying more than your share for a long time. Not because you wanted to, but because someone had to. And you've always been the one who steps in, even when your own heart is tired. But tonight, Spirit is asking you to loosen your grip, to set down what was never meant to be yours alone, to stop carrying the weight of other people's silence, other people's choices, other people's inability to meet you where you stand. You didn't fail. You didn't fall short. You simply reached the limit of what your heart could hold. And that isn't weakness, it's truth. Let yourself feel that truth for a moment. Let it roll through you like a soft tide. Let it meet the parts of you that have been holding on out of duty, not alignment. You've spent so long trying to be the strong one that you forgot strength also means knowing when your soul needs room to breathe, room to rest, room to be human. So, tonight, just for a moment, let the weight go. Not forever, just enough for the light to reach you. Maybe that looks like saying nothing and allowing the quiet to hold you. Maybe it's writing down the thoughts that keep circling so they can leave your body and live somewhere outside of you. Maybe it's the simple act of letting your shoulders drop, of choosing not to replay the same story in your mind again and again. Your heart deserves gentleness. It deserves release. It deserves to feel like it isn't fighting the world alone. And when you let even a little of that heaviness slip away, you create space for something new to enter. Space for clarity. Space for guidance. Space for that rare sign that's been trying to reach you through the noise of everything you've been carrying. Feel how your chest softens when you allow even a fragment of that weight to fall from you. Feel how your breath deepens, how your mind steadies, how your spirit settles into something that feels almost like hope, quiet but unmistakable. Hold that. Let it cradle you, because the moment you release what isn't yours, life begins to move pieces you couldn't move on your own. And what's approaching you now, you'll be able to feel it more clearly once your hands are no longer full. Capricorn, there's a quiet moment right before life turns. Most people don't notice it. They're too busy, too distracted, too tangled in the noise around them. But you feel things in your bones long before they happen. You sense the shift in the air before the world catches up. And tonight, that feeling is stronger than usual, isn't it? That strange mix of calm and anticipation sitting low in your chest, as if something is drawing near, something you didn't ask for out loud, but have needed for a very long time. Let me tell you gently, you're not imagining it. There is a door forming around your path, not a physical one, but the kind that appears when the universe decides you're ready for a different chapter. This door doesn't ask you to chase it. Capricorn energy isn't built on running after what's unstable. You've done your part, you've built, you've endured, you've held the line even when no one knew what it cost you. And because of that, life is bringing something to you on its own terms, something carried by timing, not effort. You might feel it beginning as a small interruption in your routine, a message you didn't expect, a sudden clarity, a shift in the way someone speaks to you, a moment that opens your eyes so softly yet completely that you wonder how you didn't see it before. This is the universe rearranging pieces behind the scenes, subtle, intentional, perfectly timed. Sometimes it comes as a decision someone else finally makes, one that frees you, even if they don't realize it. Sometimes it's an opportunity that circles back after years. Sometimes it's a truth that lands in your lap and changes how you move forward. And sometimes it's that quiet whisper inside you that finally becomes impossible to ignore. You don't have to reach for it. It's reaching for you. That's what happens when a Capricorn has done the work. There's a moment when the mountain stops testing you and begins guiding you instead. Feel into that. Feel how something in the future is leaning in, like a door cracking open just enough for light to spill out. Not blinding, not overwhelming, just enough to show you that what's coming is not a repeat of what you've survived. It's strange how destiny moves. One day everything feels heavy, unchanging, stuck. And then, without warning, a single piece shifts, and the whole pattern begins to open. And Capricorn, you are standing right at that moment. The turning of the gear, the inhale before momentum. Life has been waiting for your heart to loosen its hold on what is ending so it can place something new into your hands. So, just breathe with me. Let the night settle around you, let the possibility in. Because the movement you're sensing, it's real. And it's bringing you to a place where your strength is not a burden, but a doorway of its own. Capricorn, there's a reason this number keeps circling you. 1818. It doesn't come to everyone. It doesn't show up for those who are standing still. It finds the ones who are right on the edge of becoming, the ones who are stronger than they know, but softer than they let the world see. And when it comes for a Capricorn, it carries a message the universe doesn't whisper. It delivers it directly to the heart. You may notice it flickering somewhere in your day. A receipt, a clock, a passing moment that feels too precise to ignore. And when you see it, something inside you shifts, doesn't it? A small exhale, a warmth, a sense of yes, this is meant for me. That's because 1818 isn't just a number, it's a turning point, a quiet doorway into a chapter where the pieces of your life start aligning in ways your mind hasn't caught up to yet. It signals a rise, not the loud kind, not the kind you have to fight for, the kind that unfolds because you've already done the hard part. You've already grown into the version of yourself that this next season needs. And I know you feel that shift beginning. The way certain connections feel clearer, the way something in your spirit feels less alone, the way your future feels close enough to touch, even if you can't name it yet. 1818 brings movement to places that felt stuck. It brings clarity to relationships that were suspended between hope and hesitation. It brings unexpected support, sometimes from someone you had almost given up on, and it brings a surge of direction to your path, the kind that doesn't push you but pulls you, gently, steadily, toward the life that has been waiting for you to arrive. Let yourself sit with that for a moment. Feel how your breath changes when you imagine things finally aligning. Feel the weight that leaves your body when you realize you don't have to force what is meant for you. Not now, not anymore. There's a kind of sacred timing at work around you, a quiet orchestration that has been preparing a breakthrough in the spaces where you once felt the most delayed. If you've been asking whether you're on the right path, this number answers for you. Not with logic, but with resonance, with that deep knowing only a Capricorn feels when destiny draws close. And it is close, closer than you think. Tonight marks a shift, not the end of something, but the beginning of something you're finally ready to receive. A moment where your past stops holding your future hostage and the universe steps in to guide the rest of the way. So, breathe. Let this night settle into your bones. Let the meaning of 1818 rest gently on your heart. Because what is moving toward you now, it's aligned, it's intentional, and it's yours. You're walking into a chapter where destiny doesn't test you, it embraces you. Stay right here with that feeling, because this beginning is already unfolding around you. Capricorn, as we come to the quiet edge of this moment, I want you to notice something. That heaviness you carried at the beginning, it feels different now, doesn't it? Lighter, clearer, almost as if the night has been rearranging pieces in your favor while you were listening. And maybe that's the real magic of this moment. Not that everything suddenly makes sense, but that you feel ready for what comes next. Ready in a way your past could never have prepared you for, yet your soul somehow always knew was coming. Tonight, a rare sign is already moving toward you, and when it arrives, it won't feel like a surprise. It will feel like recognition, like destiny finally catching up to the work you've done in silence. So, before you go, leave a small mark of your presence here. Write in the comments, "I trust the path unfolding for me." Let that be your first step into this new chapter, a declaration to the universe and a reminder to yourself that you're not walking alone. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, Capricorn. Stay connected with the people who move through life the way you do. Quietly strong, honest in their becoming, brave in their healing. This community is your mountain of mirrors, reflecting the parts of you that deserve to rise. I'll be here when the next message calls you in, and trust me, it's already on its way. For now, breathe in the truth of who you're becoming, and breathe out the last pieces of who you no longer need to be. Good night, Capricorn. The shift has already begun.